All right, Ludvig.
We're gonna have some fun and show you the difference between new T100, 150, 250, and 350. So let's just put a couple swings on your gamer.
Yep.
Let's get some numbers, and then we'll walk you up the line and see what's going on.
I always like to say, like, if something works, it should continue to work. The tungsten weighting, the face designs that we have, they're all being evolved for specific performance that you guys are looking for.
What are you looking for when you see 7-iron from 184 yards?
The most important thing is I want to be able to send it up almost as high as I can, because I want my stock shot to be pretty high and pretty spinny. My philosophy is that I can always bring it down, but it's harder to bring it up.
All right, give me that up in the air one. Really nice. So that's green's getting firm or kind of tucked flag that we're trying to attack.
It's nice to have that in the bag because it's like I said, it's always easier to kind of hit some flight and knock it down.
And you did exactly what you said you did. So kept spin the same at 6,600. You went from 115 to 130, and land angle went from 48 to 54. So that thing is stopping as fast as you want it to. Next on the list, T150.
Yep.
T150 is our fast tour iron.
Okay. I do feel like the shape of the club head is very similar. So I'm excited to see how it feels.
You notice the shape right away, right? So this club is meant to be a little bit more forgiving, even in look. So you notice the thicker top line. Also has a wider sole as well. But more importantly to the performance and making this even more forgiving, especially in launch, we have what's called our muscle channel in this 7-iron. Versus in the T100, we only have the muscle channel in the 3 and 4-iron.
Really interesting muscle channel. 2 miles an hour of ball speed on the stock one.
Faster.
Yep, from 132 to 134.
Yeah.
Spin the same, 6,500. Peak height up 6 feet, 7 feet on the stock one. 190 yards. So
a little bit further.
A little bit further on the first one. Hit one more, we'll get another piece of data. Knowing that T150 has some speed on it, that peak height is easier to achieve. Pretty neat when you talk about maybe an amateur golfer that has pretty good technique, but maybe needs some speed out of it. In the marketplace, I could see, and tell me what you think, a lot of players gravitating towards this because it looks like a T100.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you touched on before, you see a lot of these combo sets too, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see one of these in a tour player's bag when you get up to like maybe a 6 or a 4-iron, just because you want a little bit more launch, a little bit more height, and it's just a little bit more forgiving. Obviously, golf is hard enough as it is, so
for sure,
if you can do something that makes it a little bit easier, I think everyone, including us tour players, are going to like that.
Next on the list is T250.
You can see it right when you put the club down, right? It looks a little bit forgiving.
Yeah.
Nice there.
That was nice.
So now we're introducing a hollow construction here. We're introducing a forged L face. And that also helps us with launch and consistency on both high and low, and on those off-center hits on the heel and toe as well.
Yeah, and it feels like there's a little bit more. Is there a little bit more ball speed?
Yeah, definitely. Almost 2 miles an hour more. We're at 200 yards carry. Spin is still right where you like it. Peak height 130 on the stock one. Land angle 52. So can attack.
Which is almost like the high one for the T100.
That's exactly right. That's just what I was going to say. Launching nice and high 16. So in comparison, it's launching very similar to yours, but with some speed, and we got 200 yards out of it in the air, so pretty good. Let's get the high one.
That was launching a little bit higher.
That's awesome. Again, almost 5 miles an hour faster than your gamer.
That also
spun great.
This isn't necessarily a club you would play, but who do you think would?
My dad.
There you go. You knew it right away.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, I think so. I mean, my dad, he plays off right around 3-4, and he could definitely use a little bit more distance and a little bit more ball speed, like you said, and then if you can still keep that height and the launch on it, even though you're not doing anything different, I think that would be a huge advantage.
All right, 350.
Okay.
Well, you can see it launches, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And that's a stronger golf club. So now with this construction, right, beginning with the shape, again, it's got a wider sole.
Yeah.
Gives us more volume to play with in terms of moving weight around and moving those tungsten weights even lower.
Yeah.
Flattening them out to get that weight down as far
It
as we
still
can.
has that clean look, though.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like all the technology is really like under the hood,
Yes.
right? So that's why I'm here to talk about it.
Yeah,
It's like you can't
because
just
we
see
can't
it.
tell.
You just can't see it right on the outside.
Yeah.
Right?
These stock shots are creeping higher and higher and higher.
I don't feel like I need to help it up in the air. It just gets up there.
That's your 205 7-iron.
Yeah.
All right, give me the big one. Yeah, great swing. Peak height was still great. Speed still there. Awesome to see spin up and just past 200 yards, so really, really cool.
It's always really fun to watch somebody like Ludvig go through the product line. It's very easy to see the technology's benefits from going from one model to the next to the next.
I'm looking down on it. Obviously, it's a little bit thicker here, but they're actually very similar.
But what's great is, even though they're faster or going slightly different distances because of the loft, they're all peaking at or above the one before. The spin is staying consistent. So again, from a blend perspective, tons of options.
It's great to have the options too, you know, like you said, you can combo a set, you can kind of do whatever you want to fit your needs. I love it. I think the biggest thing for me is they perform the way we want to, but they look very similar. They all have the same kind of red thread through it. I think that's pretty cool.